Right, on Selection Day Live, here we are, back on Star Sports with Tom Moody and Sanjay Manjrekar. We've heard plenty. Let me get a first reaction from you, Sanjay, after hearing what you did of Rohit and Ajit and seeing that squad. What do you make of it?
I want to react to the press conference first, because that is what we just saw. And very impressive debut by Ajit Agarkar as chairman of selectors. What I liked is both Rohit and Ajit giving a lot of respect to the people asking the questions. There were a lot of open conversations. No one was scared of trying to reveal something that they shouldn't. The answer about KL Rahul was important, that a niggle has emerged along with the injury that he had recovered from, and that is why they have that extra keeper. Now that kind of, detailed sharing of information is what you need. So I hope they remain as candid. Nice articulation of all the decisions that were taken. And when you look at the squad, I'm looking at it again, and I think this is the World Cup squad that they're looking at. 2 players will be deleted. There is a chance one of the spinners might be deleted and one of the extra keeper or maybe a fast bowler. But this is more or less the World Cup squad that you're looking at, barring 2 players that they'll have to leave out.
Yeah, I think they've gone batting heavy, and they've also, as Rohit Sharma says, have gone for the extra pacers, given Prasidh as well as Bumrah coming back from lengthy layoffs. They're only going to play T20 cricket in Ireland, so they just wanted a little bit of insurance. Let's go to Tom Moody. Tom, it's a 17-man squad. It gives India a little more insurance for the Asia Cup, which Ajit Agarkar has said that that's what they wanted. Give me your first thoughts of what's looking good in that squad and what is still missing.
Well, firstly, what's looking good is the fitness and the tick that both KL Rahul and I have received, because that's been the real talking point over the last few weeks. Both quality players, both really do sort of give that middle order some body and experience. I did enjoy the transparency and the honesty that came through in that press conference. I think communication is really important, and at times, whether it be in India or whether it be in any other country for that matter, there can be that sort of cloak and dagger sort of press conference where you have these hidden messages, and then really you walk out of a press conference no clearer than what you did when you walked into it. So I think the real clarity in their messaging was really important. You can't help but get behind this new chairman and also this team, because you feel like you're involved. You feel like you're a part of the journey now, instead of it sort of being, you're unsure exactly what's happening. So I think there's obviously a lot of people that follow Indian cricket more than anyone in the world. So I think that the force of Indian cricket will get behind this pair and this team.
Rohit said a couple of things. One, he said everyone needs to be flexible looking at the team situation. Second, though, he did temper that by saying the openers don't change. The openers are number 3. He's looking at flexibility beyond number 3. So let's get a response from that from both of you. Tom, you can go first on this one.
Well, I think this day and age, with whether it be 50-over cricket or 20-over cricket, you need to have an open mind. You need to be flexible. We talk a lot about matchups, and at times we talk too much about matchups, I think, in the media. But that's where I think Rohit Sharma's coming from. There may be a case where you might have a left-hander that's due to come in at number 6, but you've only lost 1 wicket, and then suddenly the opposition bring on a left-arm spinner and a leg spinner. So therefore, that number 6 is going to be the next person to come into bat. And I think that's really important from a team's point of view, that you have that flexibility and open mind. And I think that's what he was trying to articulate to the media there, that yes, there will be flexibility, but there are a couple of pieces that may not be moving. Because really the foundation of your innings needs to be concrete. You need stability there and role clarity there.
I'll make a quick point though. Let's not confuse flexibility, the kind of flexibility that I expect. For example, when I mentioned Virat Kohli as a number 4 to solve the problem with Ishan Kishan, batting down the order. That's the kind of flexibility that I'm talking about, the starting template. Now, what happens during the course of the match, down the order at number 4, 5, 6, you have 2 spinners operating, turning pitch. Then those kind of moves are commonplace and something that you expect. Somebody like a Hardik Pandya coming in, and there's an off spinner, or a Jadeja coming up if a left arm spinner is bowling. Now those are okay. I'm saying with the starting template or with a plan at the start of the game, switching an important position. The whole debate really is about how your 4, 5, 6 are going to look. KL Rahul, I worry about his selection now with this niggle. Shreyas Iyer more optimistic. And both Ravi, myself, when we talked about Virat Kohli at number 4, that's the kind of flexibility I'm talking about. Not while the match is happening and just for a short time, you send somebody in to tackle a particular bowler.
All right. Give me, since you mentioned starting template, though, what would you like to see India start with in that Asia Cup, given they've got Shreyas back, Rahul back, and Tilak Verma? So you're going to have to make a call there. Would you like to see the experienced players come back so they get game time, or we want to see Tilak Verma start?
No, Shreyas Iyer gets in straight away. And KL Rahul, if the niggle is okay by the time he surfaces in Sri Lanka, he plays there as well. I mean, these are your proven, class players with a lot of experience on the big stage, on the big platform, World Cup. If you see, the heroes have always been guys who've been there, done that. Rohit Sharma, 500 last World Cup. So you need people like KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, and the best way is to get them to play every match possible until the 5th of September.
All right. Well, it's a welcome back to Shreyas Iyer, to KL Rahul. But unfortunately, as Ajit Agarkar says multiple times, we can pick only 17. So there are going to be players that will miss out. Tom, Kuldeep Yadav, let's just reinforce that point from what we've also picked up from the captain and the chairman of selectors, that you understand why there couldn't be Yuzvendra Chahal in that squad.
Yeah, I made the point before that press conference around the fact that both Kuldeep and Chahal are both specialist bowlers, full stop. They don't offer anything else. They can't bat sort of at number 8 and have an impact in that batting lineup to give them depth. So I think that's one of the things that's gone against Chahal. But at the end of the day, I think when you're talking about no off spinner, you've got Kuldeep turning the ball away from the left-hander, so you've got that base covered. So I don't see it a massive issue. You've got your left arm spin going away from the the right-hand batters, and you've got your wrist spinner that can turn the ball both ways. Certainly the main part of his wrist spinning is spinning away from the left-hand batter. So I quite like the balance they've got. Yes, if you had an extra spot, if you could pick 16, you may consider an off-spinner, but I just don't think that that squad needs it.
Now, the other point was no Ashwin and no off-spinner. Tom's made the point he doesn't think it's a big deal. Rohit Sharma also said, Sanjay, this is going to be a World Cup of fast bowlers, so they want to go the extra fast bowler. We tend to think India World Cup. We need lots of spin options. That's going to be the difference. So what do you make of it?
When India won in 2011, do we remember spinners getting a lot of wickets? It was just Yuvraj Singh in the middle that was used. People like Munaf Patel made an impact. So,
Zahir, of course.
Yeah, Zahir led the attack. So small grounds, and you see certain kind of pitches in the Test series that India plays at home. But come the World Cup, the curators will be working extra hard. So you're generally going to see flat belters. Some grounds are small. So your sort of tendency is to go towards your fast bowlers to control the game. The only reason we don't see an extra wrist spinner or an off spinner is because we don't have an exciting option to choose from. And that is the hard fact of today. If there was a brilliant wrist spinner, leg spinner who gets wickets while the batters are defending or pushing, because that is what happens in 50 overs cricket. You've got to have spinners who will get wickets when they're pushing for ones and twos. In T20 cricket, you get wickets because the batters are forced to slog you across the line. And unfortunately, and that is something that India need to look at, they don't have that kind of an attractive off-spinning option, as in an exciting one.
Ashwin as an experienced bet, like we saw for the T20 World Cup, that doesn't, for you, fit what this team needs for a home World Cup.
For his pure skills, and Tom is absolutely right. It was a thought that came to my mind. I think post-Asia Cup we'll get an idea as well after the first few games whether India needs a little more skill in the middle overs, because at the moment there's just Kuldeep Yadav. There isn't much. Jadeja, Akshar Patel are your containing bowlers. So yeah.
All right. Well, no Ashwin in the squad. But if you want a part-time off-spinner, it's there. Tilak Verma, if he gets a game, he bowled just towards the end of the T20I series in the Caribbean. He's not played ODI cricket. He has an impressive List A record, Tom Moody. Sanjay Manjrekar, and you've already said you like the fact that Tilak Verma is included, but we've seen guys like Surya struggle to adapt from one white ball format to the other. What are you expecting from him?
Look, there's one thing that I look out for from a coaching perspective is temperament. There's so many players that have got oodles amount of talent and skill with bat in hand, but when it comes to game time, when it comes to game situations, you look at temperament, you look at players and how they manage that pressure, how they go about their business, without sort of feeling like there's any change in their tempo. They just seem to do it seamlessly. What we've seen over the last 12 months or so with Tilak Verma, with the IPL and with his recent outings with the Indian team is a person that is boasting that confidence and that calmness and character. And that goes a long way to a domestic player transitioning into an international player. There's a lot of players that fall short of that mark. You know, they're very, very good domestic players, but once they get exposed on the international stage, suddenly all that skill and talent counts for very little. It's all to do with composure and character. And it appears so far that Tilak Verma has got an abundance of the things that really make it are really important to make it on an international stage. So I think that has been the shining light, and that's always in that squad.
Yeah, he's got a lot going for him, does Tilak Verma, and it's nice to see that his couple of failures in the ongoing Island series haven't really come in the way of this. So we'll see if we get to see more of Tilak Verma at the Asia Cup. Another thing Rohit Sharma has said and he's delighted about is he's got this full complement of first team players together after very long, which includes his fast bowlers. We've not seen Bumrah, Shami, Siraj and Prasidh in the same squad. I'd like to say ever at the top of my head. I can't remember when.
England was the last time. Maybe Bumrah missed out on that.
Right.
I remember Prasidh being there.
So let's go to that now, because Bumrah is a sure shot. We're going to write his name right after Rohit and Virat, Sanjay in that team. What about the rest of the seamers? What is India's pecking order with their pacers?
Currently, obviously, Bumrah number 1. White ball cricket, Siraj number 2. And then you've got Shami and Shardul. So if you've got a flat belter, expect your seam attack to be something like that. I see Shardul coming in because India will be always concerned with the batting depth. So I see that as the pecking order. And I'm glad Prasidh Krishna is back in. It looked quite good. Very unique in the way he bowls his new ball. And if he bowls in Ahmedabad, he's going to get a lot of bounce. And he uses his height. And very rarely you see an Indian bowler use pace and bounce to make an impression. Dead bowling is not quite there, the likes of Bumrah or, say, for that matter, Siraj as well.
You know, I just think that left armour in a squad, if you've got that as an option, is definitely worth considering. And Arshdeep, I know he hasn't played a lot of 50-over cricket for India, and he's sort of been more recognised as a T20 specialist. But if the surfaces are flat and the grounds are going to be relatively high-scoring venues, suddenly that different angle a fast bowler's coming in at, if you're only playing one specialist spinner, you know, can be very valuable. They can go over the wicket, obviously, and create that nice angle across the right-hander. They come around the wicket and create a different angle. He's also got sort of recognised skills, death skills. So to me, if I was looking for any sort of point of difference in that squad of 15, Arshdeep is a player that I would have considered for sure.
How good this squad looks, how confident are you? India's fans are looking ahead to 2 big months. It could redefine the legacy for players like Rohit Sharma, who yet to win a World Cup. How confident are you of that squad, Sanjay?
First of all, well done. I think this is a very good squad, and it's very close to the World Cup squad. I think a couple of players would be omitted, and we know who the fringe players are who are likely to be under some pressure during the Asia Cup. Good squad, so the planning and everything is in place. It's now just about the big nights. For India in the ICC events, it's not about getting through to semis. India's problem has been the big night, and I just hope and pray with the kind of talent that they have, that they just play like Mahendra Singh Dhoni used to play, the semi-finals or the World Cup final like it was any other game. And that's the only challenge for India, considering their record in the big tournaments.